All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Monday Open Stream. I guess it's Columbus Day in America at the moment. So some people will think the market's closed, but it's not. We still have a stock market. We just don't have a bonds market. I hope you had a great weekend. You're having a great long weekend, hopefully in the US, if you do get one. And you're ready for Bitcoin Day because, yes, what we thought is starting to occur, guys. Old Bitcoin liquidation of the big whale equals profit cow. And of course, that's what the big guys do. If you enjoy today's stream and enjoy our streams in general and content that we produce, please remember to give it a big thumbs up because that does help out. And make sure to do that right now. Yes, I mean you. I say you click that thing, press the button, use your phone. All of that stuff does help out. All right, so let's get into Bitcoin, guys, because this is going to be probably one of the big discussion points of the next 24 hours, especially if we're able to close high. In today's stream, obviously, we'll go through crypto, we'll go through stocks, we'll go through earnings season, because of course we do have earnings season upon us right now. And we know that this brings certain events. Of course, October, US election upcoming, so many things to discuss and not enough time. So how's everyone been going? You had a good weekend? Absolutely. People did, it seems. Great song and timing with the song and BTC pumping on the 1 minute chart. Patrick's gone wild. He's got green lasers coming out of his eyes. As you can see here, guys, obviously he is a crypto fan. We've got Grant in the house as well. We've got Dave coming back, Kevin, everybody else in the mods. Thank you very much. All right, so let's jump in. Let's have a look here first off with Bitcoin. So as we suspected last week, we saw a massive liquidation. That poor person that bought up here with their 100x leverage got absolutely destroyed. I have it on fairly good authority. There was also a secondary sell that came in here where basically a lot of people were trapped into a short that's now getting pumped through. So effectively somebody started to short here. They're getting pumped against. That's not a surprise for anyone that's in crypto. A lot of shenanigans that go into this market. But are we actually about to see October? Let's have a look at some of the good signs. First up, this will have liquidated people. There'll be a lot of people with stop losses here. There'll be a lot of people with stop losses moving against here. If the market continues to pump through the session and we close above 66K, then of course that's going to be very bullish because people will be caught off guard. Remember that whole China thing about 2 weeks ago when we started to see pumping on that? Well, this isn't the same situation because it's not as much short squeezing, but of course it will help the situation overall. So people are offside here a little bit on Bitcoin. I think a lot of people thought October was canceled. That is a very sneaky candle. Of course, we analyzed it, I think, relatively well, where we were talking about large trade volume. We were talking about waiting for the confirmation and seeing the other side. So, guys, this is a good sign. If you're a crypto fan girl or fanboy, it's, of course, a great day so far. And if it does hold up, we have to feel like it's a strong move. So this is very, very, very good in terms of movements here. I don't know if it's going as far as to say we've changed complete trend. We've got Grant in the house. Grant will tell me, he'll say, Tom, are you an idiot? Dude, it hasn't changed trend yet. We still have a series of lower highs and lower lows. And ultimately this trend line here is the one you have to change. I'm pretty sure that's what Grant will tell me. But look, of course, I'm looking at it from a perspective of underlying structure, of liquidation, and of the dark pool liquidity. So one of the members here, Truly Messiah, thank you very much for being a member. By the way, I really appreciate all the members and all the people who have been donating and doing stuff in the live streams. Does help us out. I did want to ask you guys a question as well before we keep going here. Now, of course, I want to go in between the line, but should we, and I'm working on something in the background here, just kind of cool. Should we actually do a special election day stream? Obviously, to look at the market and the financial side, to talk about the pros and the cons of both sides in terms of what we're looking at financially. So obviously, I want to keep it on financials, but I remember 16. I remember 2020. We actually live streamed it here on YouTube, and they were pretty wild days. And obviously, 2016 was an amazing trade day. You've got to remember that was an absolute walloping the market took, followed by one of the biggest rips I've seen in a while, and that was pretty wild. So we might think about it. A few of you saying, "Yep," and we will see what happens. So yeah, MSTR was certainly one that gave us a little bit of an idea that maybe something was happening positively towards the crypto side. That is there as well. So one of the things here is the series of lower highs. I always believe that when you're looking at a market and you see it kind of change in structure coming into this, and then of course build. So at the moment we're seeing a build here. If this can hold up, which I suspect it may be able to, then this is helpful to actually believe that we're actually going to make a higher high. It's the early stages of that. Now, of course, are you making a little bit of a prediction? You are, but you're doing it on smaller time frame analysis. You're obviously putting the pieces of the puzzle together. And we ran a live seminar last week, and someone came up to me and they said, Tom, you know what? I like your channel. I said, why, man? I said, thank you firstly for watching, and thank you for your likes and comments. And they said, because you are one of the only people that firstly is balanced in some way, but also put together a storyline kind of like a crime scene, which is kind of what it is in markets. This is war in many ways, the way we have to look at markets. And we have to put together the analytical side with the momentum and the psychology. What most people say is they say, green candle is buy. Green candle, buy. I buy on green candle. I sell on red candle. How many of you know friends and family like that? Anybody know anyone like that? I'm sure we have. Anyway, we don't like to just say green candle buy, red candle sell. We don't do that. Shooting star must sell market. No. That's not what we do here. So this is a good sign. Of course, we'd like to see it close. Obviously above 66. I'm thinking it's pushing 68.5. And this may be a big momentous occasion because, of course, you can claim that's semi like a double bottom inside of trend. If we actually breach up here, we get through 68.5. Well, that brings the unknown. So what I always like to do with crypto is I like to quickly look at some of the other coins to see how they're going. Ethereum. What is this? Crap Ethereum is what I'm thinking it is at the moment. Obviously, Bitcoin leads, but Ethereum, it's showing something. Let's have a look at Solana. I just want to do this to start off. I know a lot of you are here for the S&P, but we have to look because this is where the market flow is at the moment. It's all right. Solana's okay. It's not too bad, but they're not fantastic. I think the Bitcoin is the leader here at this point. So they're all good. I'm sure they can do more percentage, but Bitcoin's the one with the best TA. All right, let's move over to the other markets. We've talked crypto. We know the key levels. We know we want to see a nice closure. And then we can move towards the possible series of a new high that can actually breach those series of lower highs. Let's talk US 500 because it's earnings weeks. And we know that the banks came out and they said, hey, guys, do you like debt? And the American public said yes. Do you like living beyond your means? And the American public said, yes. Would you like this shiny new credit card? And the American public said, yes. And they said, cool, because we're going to make more profits off you and give you absolutely nothing in your checking account. Would you like that? And unfortunately, the American public said yes again. So, of course, what did that mean? It meant that banks were doing well. And we had a good start to the banks. And this is leading into strength. Of course, ascending triangle here. And by the way, it's not the American public only. The Australian public also likes it. The UK probably likes it. Democracies around the world, they love the debt. The debt machine, buy the Louis bags. That's what they're saying. So it seems like people are feeling a little bit more optimistic. Obviously, we saw some of the largest debt-ridden new small businesses, startups. I think it was the largest number since the global financial crisis came out. So this is all a decent sign for this earnings season. And if you don't know the stat, I shared it over on X. Basically, if you take any 4-week period of earnings, on average, you can expect 2% gains over that 4 weeks, 80% of the time. Now, I shared that in our Monday macro this week, so I'll give it to you guys as well. I think that's a profound understanding. Any earnings season, you take it, you look at the 4 weeks, you get positive 2%, 80% of the time. That's probably better than some of your trade systems out there, guys. Now, I'm not saying that it's always going to happen. Of course, it's not. It's a statistic. But we are breaking out. And of course, at the moment, we are in what we call, what are we in terms of the options, guys? What area are we here? BTC is a has-been struggling classic. BTC has been struggling classic. I didn't buy any comment. I love Bitcoin. What the hell are you talking about? Bitcoin is the only coin. I don't even know what the others do. Remember, if you wanted to say, am I a Bitcoin maxi? I would say yes, but I don't buy coffee with it because that might cost me $55. Time to buy the cat and dog coins. Let's go. You've got to remember cat and dog coins take a while to set up. Positive gamma. That's right. Positive gamma. Exactly, exactly, exactly. So we've got some positive gamma on the markets. 5,800 was the big strike. We'll have a quick look here together so we can see it. We can notice today is sitting around 5,800 as well. If markets start up and they hold up, there needs to be a bit of hedging going on. And this kind of goes through the narrative of this week so far. 14th, bit positive. 15th, positive again. Now we start to strike up higher. So we're going more towards the 58.15, 58.50 level. And as long as this is in the way the market's structuring, you can't really be negative against this. Now, we did get a warning sign that told us maybe in 2 weeks we need to be a bit more careful. Yeah, sure. But even if that does happen, the current market is Goldilocks. And what that means is that everyone's bullish, everyone's FOMO around the world. And while that may bring you down 5% or take a little bit of a chunk out of market sometimes, you've got to remember that's the general thought process of the markets right now. Relatively bullish across the board. We're playing a bit of Nasdaq catch up here, 20,425. To me, that kind of seems like the logical next conclusion for the Nasdaq. So it's still ultimately bullish for the current session anyway in the banks. And what could really undo this? Well, maybe it's going to be earnings season kicking off with not these things here. Where are we? I know I've got it somewhere. There we go. With Netflix and TSM. So obviously, if the semiconductors don't come along with the party, then that could be a worry. So this is really when I think you'll actually start to see a bit of vol this week, and that is on Thursday. So Thursday seems to be more likely the volatile day. We don't have really earnings coming out until, of course, Tuesday with the big banks, Citi, Goldman Sachs. And then, of course, we have Netflix, which is a plus minus 8% move, by the way. So you've got to remember that is a fairly large volatile move. That's no joke in terms of overall kind of concept. Trading Tesla is fine. Investing in Tesla is, you got to be mental, according to Hoz. Yeah, I guess that's right. Patrick says FOMO is real. That's why you have to believe in whatever you own and buy at the moving averages. Yeah, well, moving averages can be a good dynamic support or resistance level. I don't hate moving averages. Obviously, we like 20, 50, and 200 here on the channel. Old Russell 2000, Tom Lee's favorite. Will it actually find bulls again? Well, it's looking better. I would say the weekly closes on this were pretty spectacular in terms of it does look like it wants to breach out. Again, yeah, it seems like Goldilocks style situations. I feel like the bears are dead in the market right now. You look at sentiment reports, they're almost sub 20%. The spread is really wide. The BPSPX is really high. All of these things are saying to me, ride the trends, look for the switch, and then buy the dip. That's the kind of thing I'm looking at here in terms of lead indicators versus the rest. But there's a lot of stuff, going on in these markets. And I just feel like at the moment, things are generally towards the bull end. Let's do a poll. Let's see what you guys think. I'm always interested. Now, this poll is over on YouTube, so anyone watching on X won't get it. But let's do the poll. And I want to ask you this question. Will we... Here we go. We're not going to ask... Let's see what you guys think. All right, there's the poll that's coming through. I want to see votes. If we can, we've got over 1,000 people joining us here. Thank you very much, guys, for Monday. I know it's early. I hope you're having your coffee in America, ideally latte or better. I don't know about that black coffee, but anyway, you'd like the black coffee in America, so you can have your nice coffee and your tea, whatever else you're drinking. For me, it's actually a coffee, even though it's 10:46 p.m. at night. So that just shows you that I'm dedicated to the cause. And for anyone else out there, hopefully you are having a good time. FOMO's real. That's why you have to believe. That's right. Fintech, Jane, PE in the 60s is not cheap for Tesla. That is certainly not that cheap. Black coffee here in Florida. Good morning. I hope you're safe in Florida, by the way, Shane, and your family and friends are as well. That was pretty wild. My bet is flat. Okay, interesting there. We'll get the votes in and see what's going on. There's some the 500 is the best moneymaker ever invented. It's pretty good. There's nothing wrong with the 500 for sure. It's a very, very solid. Warren Buffett's favorite tool if you don't know what you're doing. US 2K, though, certainly starting to improve. So just remember, if we get through 2280, I feel like that's a big clincher here for TA. And I would say the weekly looks much better than I have suspected for a while. So it's one of the better turns we got last week, the Russell 2K. I went over that in my private group today and kind of went, it's not too bad. There's not too bad. US dollar, just quickly on the resistance supply line. Nothing to really gain here yet. Certainly no short, in my opinion, yet or anything like that, but it's there. US oil dumping down. That's fine. Actually hit a level of interest that we had over our weekend video. We now can mark out 74.80. I'm going to take that as the day trade kind of level. So oil, very, very good switch potentially coming up. That could be nice. Gold. Oh, can I say this was sweet? Did anyone here in the that did my day trading masterclass? Did anyone here grab this one? Because this was an absolute spanker. So I really enjoyed this trade. Thank you also, Fintech Shark. Are you there in the chat? Fintech Shark, one of our oldest viewers over on X. I remember Fintech Shark. We love Fintech Shark. Thank you very much. By the way, hopefully you're on the crypto bandwagon today, Fintech, because I know you like crypto. You still like Doge? I don't know if we like Doge, but I still think Fintech might like Doge. So gold here, you can see big switch last week. Absolute perfection TP zones from a day trade setup. And this is a very, very, very interesting level because, again, with gold, obviously I'm a gold bull. You could call me a gold maniac. You might call me a gold maniac because I've been so bullish on gold through 2024. One of the best asset classes along with utilities, which is wild to think. But anyway, that's 2024 for you. You want to beat semiconductors, just buy gold. That's what happened. But in the future, we'll see whether it can continue to do these ones. Obviously, climbing into that 3,000. This is a good, strong close. I wouldn't say it's like a miracle in terms of getting a new high, though. I am still expecting a sideways kind of market action. So for now, how do we look this week? I think it's sideways. Last time we pulled back for 3 weeks in a row. We've had that kind of same statement here, 1, 2, 3, kind of sideways, even sideways a little bit afterwards. So strong move, not enough yet. And same with silver. Silver obviously pulling back, consolidating. There's nothing wrong with that. I like the consolidation. This is the type of area we want to see. Reg KM says, hey, Tom, I want to thank you again for the seminar. It was amazing meeting you in person and other fellow traders. Absolutely legendary to meet you as well there, Reg. And thank you very much for coming on out. It was a great event. I hope to be able to do more of these events throughout the world and throughout Australia as well. And Shane says he's okay in Florida. Good. Deep inland, just gusts and rain here. Appreciate all you do. The videos keep our minds off the howling winds. Yeah, man, that's some rough crap out there. I got sent a couple of photos. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share them, but I did see one. And I was like looking at it. I was like, what is this? What is that? What the hell is this? That thing's heavy. I mean, look at this. This is utter distract. This isn't even the worst part. Avenir neighborhood in Palm Beach. Just cars just trashed into houses and upside down. I'm sure you guys are well aware of all these types of things. But this one, I was like, what happened here? How did that go through and get lifted? Oh, my goodness. This is modern art. I don't think so. Not for the person who owns that house. My goodness. New Banksy. Does anyone know Banksy outside? Is Banksy Australian? Yeah. I know it's art, obviously, very, very well known art, but I'm not exactly sure if it's only known here. VIX, let's talk VIX for a second. Quite high. Unusual to see it this high, 20.46. Not unusual during an election year, but unusual when you're making all-time highs. It kind of shows you that there's a lot of hedging that's been done underneath the market. We've seen that when we looked at the weekend over on X. We actually looked at the structure and we saw all these puts floating around. And obviously, there's all these calls and the positive gamma kind of situation. But we still have a lot of hedging that's gone into this election. Now, I've kind of statistically proven that is a bad idea usually to do, but whatever, the market likes to hedge into the election for some reason. So there you go. And that's holding it up. And also, there's a bunch of profit to be made by the Wall Street riders in options at the moment. All right, so we've gone through US 500 at the moment. We're in positive gamma. Russell 2K looks very exciting moving forward if we keep getting this kind of strength coming through. Gold's obviously in consolidation with silver. Copper's also in consolidation, moving on down to where we've thought it would be. US oil is at a very exciting level for day traders. Dollar is at boring zones of nothingness. Someone asked me before, can we have a look at US dollar CAD? I'll have a look just because US dollar CAD generally reacts off the dollar slash also the old oil. That was actually an exceptionally good buy last week. If you had bought it, very nice. Really good buy, man, off the 136. Definitely want to rally that at the moment. I wouldn't say it looks negative, that's for sure. Not at the moment. Would I re-enter here? No. It's not worth it risk reward wise. And even if you think there's a bit more in it, let's say I think it's going up to these highs up in here. So let's say I think it's going to 138.74. That might be what I believe it could do, and it probably will move here. A lot of people don't understand, though, does that make sense to get involved in? Well, where's your stop loss going to be? What do you have to find replication in trades? And in this case, I don't think there's anything that I like the strength. Like if you showed it to me here, I'd say here to here seems quite likely. But at this stage, I mean, it's done 2/3 of the move. So there's just no point in chasing. You don't chase. Chasers for losers. I don't want to be a loser. Thoughts on Druckenmiller being short long-dated treasuries, TLT, due to inflation from expectations, US fiscal stim after the election. I didn't actually see he came out and said this. Look, Druck's been wrong about quite a few things. I obviously will always give Druckenmiller massive props, but I think in his own words, he's even said that he's lost edge a little bit. And we'll just watch something a bit more beautiful than US dollar CAD where I answer this. So it's a great question. Druck's actually been underperforming the markets for a while, still making good money, don't get me wrong. I think he's probably, for the last 5-6 years that I've been watching and listening to him, I'm picking up amazing information, but I'm not picking up, what I would say is trades that are actionable or worthwhile considering. Now, would I be short US long dated treasuries? Personally, I wouldn't. I don't really see how there's that much to gain out of them at this price. I mean, if we just look at treasuries here, I mean, what do you guys think? Would you be short treasuries at 93? The problem is he also changes his opinion. I mean, what's he shorting to? Is he shorting here to here? Is he shorting from up here down to here and he's already 2/3 of the way through the move? I don't know what he's doing. Neither do you, I guess. And is he shorting to get a new low? I think that would be a mistake personally, but that's my personal opinion. To me, I'm looking at this being where the treasuries looks better. But as I've always said on this channel, and we always talk about together, guys, don't trade treasuries. It's ridiculous. We do not trade treasuries. Finch Jane says, I forgot about Columbus Day, lol, but some people think the Chinese were the first in America around the San Fran area. Well, technically the Dutch came to Australia and then they were like, oh, that's a big, big cliff. And this place sucks. So they left. If you didn't know your history, that's what happened. They came over, they said it sucks, and they left. But they were wrong. They didn't understand there was iron. All those cliffs, all that horrible sand was actually iron. It could have been rich in iron instead of the herbs and spices. Otherwise, you'd be talking Dutch. Well, actually, I'm half Dutch, so therefore, I'm technically, I guess you would say, half Dutch, half British. So therefore, but I literally found Australia twice. It's pretty good. The Dutch preferred Indonesia. Yeah, no good place for coffee shops. That's right. Druck says he's short treasuries to unload that position on people reading. It could be. I don't like that position. I don't. He's also said he's short dollar a bit, which is fine. I agree with him over a 12 to 18 month period. But you've got to be very careful about shorting dollar, especially when every central bank in the world is trying to short. So this is a very interesting idea. Let's go through some more trades, though. I want to get back to these markets. So let's go through Tesla here for a moment. What a calamity. They release iRobot event or whatever it was called. And basically it looked like kind of something out of one of those sci-fi films. What did we have? We had like the taco. So we had the taco car. There was the taco car with no clearance. And there's a little door here. So we had the taco car. We had the robot that looks like a stick figure. And we had, what was the other one? Oh, yeah. The 2-year-old car. It's like a bubble car. Yeah. There we go. So we had the iRobot event, and no one was impressed, it seemed, by this. I actually thought the taco car was pretty cool. It looked like that thing. I was surprised, and I said this on the video, that there weren't like people coming out, or those robots weren't coming out of the taco car, and then they were like, full on with guns and stuff. Did anyone else? I mean, I don't know if anyone else thought that, but I was like, whoa, that thing looks real. That looks legit scary. The Tesla toaster, yeah. We'll look at Netflix in a moment. So what do I think about Tesla after seeing that event? Well, firstly, I think it kind of is the future in some ways when you think about it. Now, what I mean by that is the bubble car, the one that Elon rode off into the sunset on. There's a very bad car here. But anyway, there's my drawing. And that one there, I kind of can see it. It reminded me of like the Fifth Element or something with the flying cars, except in this case, they were driving. I totally could see millions of those being like taxis floating around. It's going to happen. I was actually talking to my dad today about farming. We're talking about like crop farming. So now in Australia, and I'm sure in America for a long time, you can hire the drones, and the drones come over and they spray your farm. It's actually awesome because they spray really low. So the toxic crap that they spray, insecticides, doesn't go everywhere over other people's farms and stuff. And this is just like, I could just see it now. Bazillions of like drones farming, and then bazillions of like robo taxis, and I mean it's for sure going to happen. But I still want to call it a taco car. So Tesla, what happened? Well, it got crushed. Now, why did it get crushed? Well, I'm going to say it was Wall Street bets, because they were aping out of their minds. Did anybody see what happened to the apes at Wall Street bets? The guy in particular that was a bit dumb, and he went, "I trust you, Elon. I know that you're going to push the stock up. So I'm going to get $250,000, and I'm going to go all in YOLO, and I'm going to turn $250,000 into $40,000 in less than 24 hours. Can I do that, Elon? Can I do that?" And Elon said, "Yes, you can." And that's exactly what happened. So a lot of bull calls, basically, and they got liquidated. So was it a buy the rumor, sell the fact? Yeah, it was pretty much exactly as we suspected. Now, is this a decent price for Tesla? It's not too bad on the price action side. About 210 is where I would usually expect buyers to come in. We'll just have a quick look here at the walls. I've got the walls up here, and you'll notice that we've got 210, 215, lots of puts there, 200 as well, lots of puts there. And it just gets even more wild when you go to the 25th. I think it's very difficult for the market to push underneath this price, because if you look at it, 200 to 215-ish, there's just so many puts. And we know the markets don't like to go in the negative gamma side too much or too often. And it just doesn't seem likely that that's going to happen. So I think that maybe Tesla's overreacted to the downside. But hey, it liquidated a bunch of people while it was at it. Drones for farms are imminent, for sure. Dono seems to love the Bitcoin. Look at that Bitcoin logo. Loving Bitcoin today, man. No worries. Bitcoin's been going well. We did it. We covered it the first 10 minutes of today's stream. We do like that. How's semiconductors looking? We'll look. Let's close the stream. Poll. Positive 67%. Do I want to go past? Oh, we didn't even talk about MSTR. Let's have a quick look at MSTR. Now, this, did anyone actually get this? When I talked about the large trades, this is a classic. I get excited by this. I don't know. We've got 900 people here, a few hundred over on X. Anyone else get excited by this? By the way, guys, make sure to give it a like if you enjoy the stream. This was good. And you know I never talk about MSTR. I don't even know what it half is. But the point is that was beautiful consolidation. Nice little rally, big ass transactions right in here. Yeah. Didn't need to be a soothsaying scientist for this one, did you? So this was a classic, and it leads into the semiconductor question in a moment. Obviously, a large amount of transactions, and nothing guaranteed in life, especially when it comes to trading. You've got to be careful. You've got to place risk reward and make sure you know what's going on. But this is absolutely ripping off that. And of course, to me, it was kind of like a precursor that Bitcoin was going to go. To me, I saw this. I said this in the macro today. I was like, man, guys, I just think Bitcoin is just looking so much better with this MSTR wild action, the big trades coming through, the coin that we saw about 3 weeks ago. Let's have a look at coin actually here, because MSTR is at 224. But obviously we saw, now, just in terms of what this would complete at, obviously you'd be going standard channel kind of completion. I think it'll just trade within Bitcoin range, but it could go even more wild, but certainly more action to potentially be had. Not that I would jump on board a moving steam wagon. I think it's a waste of time. But coin also getting some large transactions of it and finding rejections, up 2.85 today. So again, there's a decent amount of base coming through here. And this is not it's why we've talked about it. I'm investigating. We're investigating. We're seeing things. You got to remember, we're a channel like no other. The best community on the internet, you guys are. And I just always get confirmed by this when I meet you in real life. Last week, of course, Wednesday, we did Melbourne. And I met people and I went, you know what? I'll give this a shout out. There was a gentleman, 2 people actually, I'll give a special shout out to, just because I think it's wild. One flew from Papua New Guinea, got off a plane, and made it to the event just in time. Dude hadn't slept pretty much. Absolute dedication. And then there was another guy, and you saw him here in the stream. He's in here probably right now. He had back surgery 24 hours before, and he said, nurses, give me the adrenaline. And they did. And then he came to the event. Oh my goodness, that's dedication, dude. I love it. Absolute legends. Wahinu Yukovitz. Wahinu Yukovitz, $5 Australian. Thank you very much. Attempt number 4. Oh, I always stuff it up, yeah. At saying my last name is Yeroshovitz. Yeroshovitz. Holy moly. You serious? That's Yeroshovitz? Well, thank you very much for the $5. Wow. Last name is Yeroshovitz. All right, I've got you next time, okay? Wahinu, I've got you. Yeroshovitz. All right, we'll got it. That is pretty wild that he got there. Told you I wasn't going to miss it. Yes, thank you very much, Michael. Appreciate it, man. That is a legendary move. All right. Anyway, coin looking better as well. So you can see here it's playing out throughout all of the stuff. Why is it cool that we do this on the channel? Because we see it happen time and time again. I don't think there's anybody that's been floating around in utilities in gold and moves over to semis when it needs to be. I mean, is there anyone that does this? I don't know. I haven't seen it. Maybe there is. I don't see it very often. Let's have a look here at the semiconductors, because semis could be leading again. Now, Grant, we still got you in this chat. This is a trading channel or preschool? Milty Friedman. So angry. All right, bro. It's all good. Look, he's just trying to educate me in the last names, okay? It's like I've been educated into speaking American. So the best part of American is American. Can. See, we can do it. American. When I used to live with this guy from Berkeley, he always used to walk around saying, "I can do it, American." I said, "All right, good attitude, bro." Semiconductors over here, obviously a breach level is coming in. I do like this 258. If we manage to get through here, obviously we're already kind of bullish on this due to NVIDIA, but this just shows you the completion of more semiconductors trying to come along. And it kind of points towards if we do get further strength, that even if we get pullbacks during, let's say, Saltober or something, if that does happen, that in general, the overall positive attitude is there. So there's a lot of market rotation, and this is just the type of thing, the sucky, crappy semiconductors are starting to come good. Does anyone know what the worst performing sector is of the last 3 months of the main sectors? What do you think the worst performing sector is of the last 3 months? Anyone know? Is it solar? Is it healthcare? Is it energy? What do you think, guys? I know you got big brains, so you already look at all this stuff. Consumer discretionary tech? Well. If I told you that the best performing was home builders, you would say you're an idiot. But it has been. The second best, regional banks. The third best, utilities. The worst, semiconductors. Now, of course, if you go year to date, semis is number one. But it just points to be you've got to look at it in the context of what's going on in terms of rotation. This is the bubble. Semiconductors is the bubble. So it does eventually need to play catch up. But you've got to remember that this is a very important thing because it does need to continue if the bubble is going to continue. So ultimately, we need semis to actually come along with the party. So yeah, very key point here for this week's TSM will be the deciding factor, I would say. Obviously, NVIDIA managed to get a very, very nice close over here above the trend line down last week at 127. Looks strong. Let's go through some of the trading concepts that we've been discussing on the live streams a few times. Obviously, we've got Failtel. Failtel has done pretty poorly, but it's been a little bit of a hidden kind of TA that I've been looking at in recent times. We obviously followed this twice on the stream, and it seems to be finding a little bit of strength in it. The other one I've been mentioning is uranium. Uranium is a bit of a hidden kind of sector as well. Of some of the stocks that have actually been improving, Disney has been improving. Yes, I know you wouldn't believe it, but it actually has been improving. And Hood has broken to a new high, not all-time high, but obviously a new high. So this is along with many other decent quality kind of like 2021 stocks. So they're really finding some strength. One we haven't looked at literally very closely here has been Roku in a couple of weeks. But I will say it continues to do relatively well. So obviously not much in terms of pure beast mode price action. But as we've talked about it for a while now, since August, I can't say this has been a bad chart and it continues to find strength. So the market's moving through different things. It's going to 2021 stocks that are quality 2021 stocks that have been beaten down. It's going to semis again at the moment. It looks like it could be going to healthcare. So that's an interesting sector. And obviously, Bitcoin is what's coming here today. Do Zoom for the hell of it. Oh, yes, Zoom. One of the classics of our old stream. I like Zoom, man. Now, you know that we analyzed this together, and I said, look, this and this level here are both interesting towards the more buy end. Why? Because it sucks. It frankly has been a horrible stock. Look at this. Can you believe? And this is why when people say, "Oh, we'll never have another bubble. We'll never have another bubble." Yeah, right. We'll never have another bubble. Does anyone remember every single fund manager buys here? Does anyone remember this? This is a story that you must always think about. Oh, this is the best stock on the internet. What's the problem with Zoom? It's really just one word. There are always bubbles. Absolutely. Thanks, Finch. Appreciate it. Why is my donation not working? We always take donations here, TX Redman. I will always take Chick-fil-A donations. Actually, my mate came back from the US the other day. He goes, dude. I said, yeah, man. He goes, Chick-fil-A. I said, I know. He goes, no, you don't know. I said, I've eaten it. He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, but it's really good. I said, yeah, I know it's really good. He goes, why isn't it here? I said, I don't know. Maybe they're the only non-capitalist company in the US because I actually don't know why it's not in Australia. If it was in Australia, I'm telling you, Chick-fil-A would do some domination and KFC would die. No moat. That's right. Moat, no moat. So, yeah, this is a classic of it will happen again. Bubbles happen all the time. Expect the unexpected. But ultimately, Zoom does look like it's better on the charts. I mean, you can actually see here, it's kind of aiming for a new high. And I think this is kind of the story of regional of KRE and the Russell 2000. You know, these things here. That's an ascending triangle. It's holding the weekly 20. Will it continue? Hey, I don't know. But the price action itself is trying to break out. And you know, the next stop is going to be something like 62.50, which obviously is still a percentage. So if these earnings come in good, well, I guess for the financials, you've got to say there's some pretty decent strength here. Well, it's that time of the show, guys. We've done the US 500, we've done the Russell 2K, we've done the Bitcoins, we've done obviously gold, US oil in terms of updating on all the charts. What are you seeing? We always like to see. Now, I don't want anything under $5 billion. I want quality setups that are actually TA approved, not that trash that's been dumped for like 10 years and it's like looking like it's possibly turning or it's been ripping like 50% in a day. So if you have one of those stocks that you want us to analyze, let's take a look together. While we're waiting for those to come in, I just want to mention here, I did some quick PE ratios. Google is trading underneath its 5-year average. Microsoft is so overpriced. NVIDIA is now fairly priced based on its 5-year average. Meta is now fairly priced based on its 5-year average. Yes, I know you might say, oh, Meta's overpriced. Well, no, it's based on the 5-year average. And I posted over on X an interesting question for you guys. And we'll go over here. Go to X. And, it's not the live, but hello, everyone. OpenAI revs exceed Google at time of IPO. Is this a bubble and are they trying to cash grab? Yes or no? Cash grab? Yes? No, guys. What do you think? All right. A few people want snow. I've already analyzed snow a few times. It's very oversold. It's super oversold on metrics, but that doesn't mean that it's exceptionally good to buy here. It's not really breaking on the upside yet. Let's have a look here. Yes, cash grab 100%. Too much competition. Yeah. So what I would suggest is if you actually think this is good, which it's not, okay, go and have a look at the crunching in cost for these services. I have never seen anything quite like it. It is absolutely crushed, and it's going to be crushed again. There is way too much competition in this space for whatever this is. And I would actually say it is literally Google 2.0. So, yeah. Let's see what people on X say. Google has a hell of a war chest and a biggest mountain of data as well. They are doing credits that they're booking revenue or vendor financing and the rest of the AI company scams. I don't know what that is. Only AIs seeking maximum truth will prevail. Those trained to lie, subvert for political correctness will fail, though they will be pushed and favored by people controlling our current paradigm. I like this. It's always, I wonder if this person and I would have a cool discussion about pyramids and aliens. I feel like there's definitely some pyramid alien vibes going on here. Anyway, I'm surprised there's not a picture of a pyramid, but thank you very much for your comments. Regardless of this, I do feel like it's overpriced. And I think that the thing here is that everyone's thinking it's all glorious. And I'd be interested to see whether it's another Ant Financial style Zoom IPO. Remember, we've been talking about this for ages and ages on the channel. And it's always the same thing. We've been discussing this idea that we're looking for the IPOs in AI to show us that we're near the end of the bubble. And that's, of course, the hilariousness that's coming in now. John S., $20, EBS possible breakout. Thank you very much, firstly, for your very generous donation in quality American dollars too. Very appreciated, sir. And we will have a look here. $8.88 EBS Biosolution. So this is one of those ones that's incredibly difficult to read with TA. You've always got to go with a bio company in the same way. Pharmaceuticals, bio, it's always pumpy and then it's always dumpy. And the problem with it is it comes off some kind of earnings or a major announcement. You can see here the epic rally. This is actually an epic dump. That's actually a normal style pickup. The problem is here, if I was looking at this and I knew what this stock was and stuff, I would say it's a bit dangerous. And that's because it's not so much this rally dump stuff. It's the way it's dumped and the percentage it dumped off. It tells me that it could be in hibernation for a long time. If you're looking at pure TA from the most recent price action, you would be saying, okay, around that $8 could be positive, maybe $7.50. I wouldn't do it myself, but maybe you know something more about this particular stock. To me, it just looks like the standard pumpy dumpy, goes into consolidation for a while and has a big issue. A lot of you guys are saying too early to call, cash grab, etc. We've got Pan W. So there's a few requests here for stocks. So let's do some stocks. Pan W breaking to, I believe, an almost all-time high. Yeah, this has been quite solid. Old Pelosi, she knows what to do. Remember, Pelosi was buying that dip. She was like, oh, I buy the dip, baby. The unlimited trading machine. Pelosi gets a rap, but I'll tell you what, they all do it. The actual best traders aren't even Pelosi. There's actually this dude, I think it's this Republican dude. He's a legend, really. He makes like 58% on average per year or something. Anyone got the stats on how much these guys make? I know it's a Republican dude. There's one Republican dude, he's like the boss master. And then there's Pelosi, probably third or fourth. The Republican dude is the boss master. He's like averaging like the 56%. He's technically the best fund manager in the world. I don't know how anyone in America even can stand that. That would drive me off the wall to see them doing this. Anyway, we won't go past that point. Let's have a look here. Pan W, low high, lower low, big rip, obviously coming into a nice potential break. It does look like it's got momentum on its side. You've got a lot of consolidation, which is relatively solid. If you're in it long, I wouldn't be worried. If you're trying to get into a new momentum play, it's not my style, but yeah, it's there. Darth, welcome. Good to have you here. Coinbase, covered it a few times. At the moment, Coinbase has got good base. Obviously, we like the big dark pool transactions we saw a few weeks ago, which have been helpful. Bitcoin, of course, rallying is the story of the morning. And this is a decent base, 61.8. You can see here. Decent potential run as well, because if you think about it, if you believe Bitcoin actually is turning to an October, remember we did report on the weekend, someone got massively liquidated. They got destroyed by Wall Street and their new nasty. I mean, no one should like ETFs if you're a Bitcoin crypto fan, girl or fanboy. Why would you like the ETFs? The ETFs are disastrous. They bring synthetics and now there's all trashing of everyone. So the big guys are here to play in the coins for sure. But this is a decent base. Most of the big transactions we saw were through here. If you want me to, because we've got the crypto interesting, I'll have a look and see if I can find any other big trades. Anyone interested in that? China stonks. I'm kind of bored with China stonks now. You might say, but Tom, you were the one crapping on about them. Yeah, exactly. That's the point of this channel. We could take victory laps and say we're the glory of the internet. Well done to us. We've done so well. Yeah, I mean, this was an absolute spanking trade. Like, what a beast mode trade, eh? You know, well done, community, because you guys smashed this. No one really, maybe 10 guys on the internet that I've been watching might have even been close to this thing. And we were bullish. We remained bullish because the structure looked good. It was replicable. It got trashed underneath. If you're holding for, like, again, 12 to 18 months, I don't think it's bad, but it's a cat and mouse game. We have now, okay, you're going to give me the stim pack. I want more stim pack, because on the weekend they weren't very impressed by the stim pack. Ultimately, the PBOC is testing what the market wants, and they'll give them what they want long term. But yeah, it's just going to be a lot of stuffing around in the TA. SoFi, sure, let's do some SoFi. We like SoFi in terms of analysis sometimes. Oh, beautiful break, man. Love that. There's a lot of these crapper stocks are going now. And I call them crapper stocks because they've been sitting for ages. These look like more serious moves, and I'll say why. It's the Russell 2K. When I look at the Russell 2K, Tom Lee, and I know you all, do you guys like Tom Lee? I'm going to find out once and for all. I want to see this. Here we go. Start a poll. Here we go. This will tell you whether we have the silent majority or minority. All right, guys. We're going to poll it first. But yeah, SoFi, you can see what I'm thinking here. And this has actually been it's actually a very replicable trade. The best pickup level was in here, but obviously there was also some good stuff when we looked at it last week. I think it's still long. I think it's going for a tenner at this point. Meta, LLM, open source, race to the bottom. Yep, pretty much, lock. I agree. Why? Oh, Redfin. Wow, that is a blast from the past. You guys are really bringing me some 2021 stocks. The last time I analyzed it, I was like, it's going to die, and it did. This was such a thing. I just remember everybody, they loved it. They loved this trash, and it just was trash, and unfortunately, it got smashed. All right, let's have a look at it with new eyes. Yeah, I mean, that's where you'd like to see the bounce because it's the demand. Obviously, it went on a run. Hey, if the Russell goes, maybe it'll be okay. It's not too bad in terms of the level. Obviously, you need to stop. I believe under 870. I don't know if 9 would hold. PayPal, sure, we'll have a look at PayPal. These are all, as you can see here, guys, 2021 style stocks. PayPal actually really exceeding at the moment, moving towards, I would have to think, 85 and possibly ultimately the 93 kind of level I've got up there. How's GME going these days? I don't really know. I don't follow it. Someone did ask me, though, at the they've been watching the channel not that long, and they said to me, they said, Tom, is GME real? I said, depends what you mean by real. They said, well, is the movement real? And I said, I'm not going to answer that online because people get angry. But ultimately, you guys know. The reality is this. If you believe everybody has strong hands, retail traders have strong hands, then sure, it could be real. But I like to not believe that. And I'll tell you why. Because people, especially retail traders, are greedy. They need the money potentially. And they don't really care about the general people in terms of the overall movement. It's just not going to work like that. I said that at the start of GameStop, and I say it again. It will have rallies like it did a little while ago, but these rallies will always be short-lived now. Everyone's woken up to the GameStop thing. That's what happens. It's rally, bust, rally, bust, rally, bust. All right, let's get the stream here. We have no at 60%. So there we go. there were a lot of people that said, stop talking about Tom Lee. Shut the hell up. Careful of the hype beasts. Well, it's all right. If you want to make money about it, it's all good. You can, like, anyone that gets annoyed at that, it's just true. You've got to think about people's psychology. And deep down, you know this. So, yeah, it was the same with AMC. You can go back to the track record. I've always said the same thing. Make money, sure, that's fine, whatever. If you want to make money off other people losing money, mostly retail traders, then that's okay. But yeah, to believe that they're all going to hodl it forever is not going to happen. Some will, most won't. PLTR Palantir, yes, very strong. I cannot tell you where that thing exactly is going to stop, but I would mark out this high if you were somebody to want to look at the short end. I mean, that is pretty much what's gaming for right now, to get that high. Very strong. Originally, I thought we'd stop a little bit at 35. I'm not going to say I didn't, because that's where I thought we might stop a little bit. But I'm bullish. I'm not bearish on this stock, and I never have been really since we did structure down here. In fact, we turned bullish after being bearish over in this area. Hey, Tom, can you check Palladium? We took out took a look at Platinum days before. Not sure if it made the mistake. That was a mistake. PA looks better. Yeah, Palladium and Platinum both look better. Is this Palladium? Is that how I spell Palladium? Yeah. Okay, whatever. We'll just look at this stock. No, Palladium's the same. It looks like a Wyckoff base. It's been very beaten down. Probably the best setup for Palladium in a while. PLTR is good. What the hell's Hut? That sounds like a 2021 stock. Hut Corp. Oh, it's a 2021 stock. Absolute trash as per usual. Let's have a look. Don't get stuck in the trash, but at least the trash is cheap. Kathy Wood's going to be the best investor in the next month. Yeah, that's going to happen. I can see it now. ARK's back, baby. Like 2-3 months away if we continue to see bulls in the market here. Oh, look at ARK. Kathy Wood's the greatest investor of all time. Yeah. Hut's actually relatively replicable in this area. So maybe it's one that's a bit behind some of the others. Had some nice runs on it. So you know that it's got like potential of 60-70% upside. Base down low is, when did the last run? July. The base is, yeah, I mean, geez, you can't hate. Can't hate on it. Look, I think it sucks. I don't know what it does. It says here, it says data processing. I don't believe probably anything about this business, but that doesn't really matter because you're looking at it from a TA side. Is the risk reward worth it? I guess so. What do you guys think? You like that? Looks like an inverse head and shoulders, eh? Do-do, 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 boom. Yeah, it could be worse. Could be worse. I'm going to set a little alert here. Come here, a little alert. Oh, hey. Give me the alert. Okay, it's not going to happen. Stevenson, 720. Please look at Whirlpool. I'm not in it on the weekly. It looks good. 6% div 2. Whirlpool. Whoa. It's Whirlpool. How much is this worth? 5.77 billion. So it just meets my 5 billion criteria. It's been beaten for a while. Thank you, Stevenson. Appreciate the donation, by the way. Downward trend line breached. What is the field? Electronics appliances. So this actually is the appliance company that makes, I would say, subpar appliances. I haven't bought one of these in a long time. Are they still subpar? Are they good? Let's get the chat. Stevenson, the only way to answer this question, by the way, Sandollar, welcome. We love you, Sandollar. Let's go with the question. Is start poll. Okay. If this is the appliances company, do Whirlpool products suck? All right, there we go. We'll answer it through a poll, which will help us to figure this out. It's a Bitcoin miner. Oh, that's Hut. Oh, if it's a Bitcoin miner, if it's a Bitcoin miner, then theoretically, if it breaks out, then it'll be all right. Hey, Sandor. Kathy Wood, great reference. Just do the opposite. I'm not sure you'd want to do that anymore. I think Kathy Wood might come into that. Remember, she's at peak hate. I saw a meme I don't know if I've got the meme here to share you. The meme was brutal though. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh my god. This is when you know Kathy Wood's about to come back. Are you ready? You ready for the meme? There it is. I think ARC's about to do well, guys. Totally free certificate, free certification course, quant option intraday. NVIDIA set for a historic drop. These 3 stocks will help you spread the risk. All right, let's finish the poll on Whirlpool. I don't know. No. Oh, people like it. Oh, I take that back. This is a great stock. See, that's where I'll understand. Whirlpool is good. Downward trend line breached. Okay, so we don't mind that. Price action on the weekly. What was your comment? Weekly looks decent because, of course, you do have some, series of higher highs and higher lows at the moment. I don't hate it, man. I don't know if it's going to come back into glory land or anything, but when I look at this price action wise, especially smaller structure, it looks like a bit of base. I do like it here. It's broken back through this high. Yeah, it's not bad, man. It's not bad. It's okay. The best it's been in. I think it's the best structure since there. That's actually not bad structure anyway. That is actually good structure as well. So you could have got trapped in this structure. That actually is pretty good buy structure. I would have bought that most likely. Obviously, I would have been stopped out because it's a trade. Would I have bought that? Oh, I think I would. See, sometimes you got to own it, guys. You got to own when you'd lose. Yeah, I think I would buy this. Breach of daily 20, down, 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 down. If I did that 100 times, I reckon I'd be a winner. Actually, I know I'd be a winner. So, yeah, that was that looked so good. If it had just closed above. That was so close. Whirlpool caused the fire in London, was it not? I have no idea. Let's have a look at ARC-K price action. It's getting better. Whirlpool products not so good anymore. Used to be lifetime buys. Yeah, I think it was like that. Remember that? Was it in America that Hoover was created? Was it Hoover? Which basically meant vacuum cleaner. We didn't really have them here, or if we did, I don't remember them. Now we call a vacuum cleaner a Dyson. And guess what? Dyson's quality is getting worse. US 10-year Treasury yields have risen 45 basis points from the trough 3.62 on September 16th. Yeah, Sandolar, I think Treasuries are getting to an interesting point. I know we heard Druckenmiller wants to sell them all, but I don't know about that trade. Appliances are so expensive these days. Yeah, I feel like they're coming down, or at least they've stabilized heavily. In the US, there's this weird thing that I always see whenever people talk about houses. Does it come with stainless steel appliances? In Australia, nobody asks that question. Appliances are considered, who cares? It's always just like, how many bedrooms is the house and how much is it? Oh, yes, $3 million. Okay, thank you very much. But no one ever asks about the appliances or the granite countertops. Granite countertops, appliances, some kind of like scary like basement. That's the American house I often see. Granite countertops, that's the one. But in Australia, we don't have basements. We don't have granite countertops. That's considered luxury, super luxury. We did have like some kind of composite material. So, guys, the story today, we've gone through a lot of 2021 stocks. A lot of those are ripping a bit in terms of they've started to improve a lot. Semiconductors, obviously, is the one to watch. And we've seen Bitcoin have a great morning. So, we obviously covered this at the start. I think it's a great place for us to end up here. We'll take a couple of questions as well. Ask some questions. Let's answer. If you spend $300,000 to $400,000 on a house, apartment, who is going to care about a few $1,000s in appliances? I don't understand, but that seems to be the storyline. Yes. Samsung appliances are really good in my experience. They're not bad. LG, Samsung. I rent a crappy apartment and have a granite in the States. Andrew, you got the granite, man, granite countertop. You're not crappy apartment no more. It's premium. What about SMCI? We can look at that in a moment. So with the story on Bitcoin, we obviously have a double wick rejection on the weekly, very strong in terms of action. I like the fact that we liquidated a big whale, or not big whale, an idiot that had 100x leverage. So that person got smashed, and that was unfortunate for them. But anyway, that's all right. We know a bunch of people shorted in here, which is interesting. We also know that this high probably has stop losses that are probably getting squeezed a bit. We get above 66K, that kind of brings in the storyline for crypto. We have coin that's had some dark pools. We had MSTR, which had some big trades on it last week. This is all, in my opinion, positive evidence. We'll see whether the price action can get it done. Herb, solid day, $5. VST US electric play. Okay, man, let's have a look. Vistra, thank you very much for the donation. Very strong overall trend. It's been absolutely blitzing. It's a utility, so you know I like utilities. But yeah, it's a utility. It's come back to the good level of demand. It clearly is riding high. How much did it actually drop from the top? Well, I don't like that drop. I'll say that. Is the move over for now? I mean, I think it'll rally a bit more. I'd be kind of concerned about like some kind of fib retracement on the back. So like this type of thing. That would be kind of what I'd be worried about mostly. Trend is still up. This is a solid level if you did buy it. And that's because it is the daily 20 moving average, which it moved too far away from. So you'll see that it's done some respect on the daily 20, had like a slow May into September and then went ballistic. So the trend is strong, but I don't like the fact it dropped 20% so quickly. Stove hoods is a must. Well, yeah. Can you have houses without stove hoods? I guess you could. You need a stove hood. BTC is going to pump soon. I've got 8 times spam WhatsApp messages about BitX in the past 10 minutes. BitX. That's the 2x leverage, yeah? That's the only thing I don't like. How many retail traders are like ballistic on the Bitcoin? They all like kind of jump so quickly on it that I find like the move can be, very manipulated by Wall Street. This is actually another very interesting. I would never TA this legitimately, but it does look like it's kind of improving for sure. 300K for an asbestos house. Don't buy asbestos. That's how my granddad died. We don't want to buy no asbestos if you can help it. Get rid of that crap. All appliances are trash these days. Not La Marzocco coffee machine. We love La Marzocco coffee machine. And yes, I spent too much money on that, but I love coffee. Lots of US houses without stove hoods, or worse, fake stove hoods. Whoa, fake ones. A property is 1.2 to 1.3 mil just for the land here. Yeah, same in Australia. Unless you live in Sydney, that's like $3 million just for the land. FX futures are off right now. I think markets are doing the right thing. Why market does not show love for the bears? Okay, let me explain this to you. There is a thing called the wall of worry. We've been climbing it. Now we've exited the wall of worry and we're in the Goldilocks zone. The problem is that markets are inherently bullish. Never forget this stat. 60% of the time, pretty much, markets will be bullish. So when you're talking about indices, to be bearish on indices is much harder than bullish. Now you will have your time, Sakari. You will have your time. I believe personally it could be as early as late next year into 2026. And I've said that for a long time. And I'm looking for the signs. Eventually, you're going to get nice big bear bust, and you're going to sit there and say, "Why did I want this again?" But ultimately, it does happen. It's just that bull markets tend to go for a while. You had a big bear bust in 2022. We've obviously had some nice scares since then, including the wild 65 VIX in August, but it's the reality of markets. All right. So the story is, guys, we basically found a whole thing. Sorry, Sint says here, I realized 50 basis points on the table in November, right? So this is like taken away. Why can the dollar still go up? Because other central banks are still cutting. So if you think about it, if you put in codes such as US 10, US 01Y, what you're going to notice is that when you go to this, it's pulled up a little bit. So yields have pulled up. And that means that ultimately we don't have to have as many cuts. So you're going to have that. You're going to have a stronger dollar. And that's the thing. So you don't want cuts means weaker dollar. Thanks very much, Claudia. Appreciate it. Melbourne. Look at Sydney. Will SPY get pushed to 600 till November 5th and dump? It's an interesting concept. I'm not sure if it pushes that high that quickly, but it's possible. Paying $300 for a vacuum is a joke and I hate it. Yeah. I feel like fridge quality is lacking. Yep, unless you want some kind of weird LED on the front of your screen. Got a Whirlpool oven and dishwasher. They aren't terrible, but they aren't premium products for the price and tend to be quite good. Most appliances are junk. Most appliances are the exact same four appliances with a slightly different skin on them. It's like TVs. People think there are like heaps of TV brands. There's not. You look into it. There's like 3, maybe 2. No worries. Thank you very much for following along on X as well as YouTube. Look, guys, I think I will have to answer your question because I know you asked this many times, Kevin. Shop, you want shop? Shop is still fine. The trend is up. There's nothing really wrong with this trend at the moment. We liked it back in the 49s. I'm still looking at how it reacts around this area here. That was my first sell-off area. It's coming in. I feel like it can consolidate up here. Sakari, hopefully you do. Just remember though, you got to be careful with your overall bearish bias on markets. I mean, the truth is, yes, you eventually do get bear busts. Obviously, people don't generally see them going. I like to think I've found a pretty good way of finding them. It's in my advanced course, and I talk about it at great length. But you're not going to get that every couple of years or anything. There's a rhyme and reason to these things, and you've got to remember at the moment we have a US election. It's unlikely to fall heavy into that. It could, but it's unlikely. And the other point is that whoever wins, whether it's Republicans or Democrats, I'm just going to leave it here. I don't want to get too political, but you got to remember they're both MMTing crazy people. Okay. So, what I mean by this is if you think about it from a financial standpoint, yes, they've got different policies, but you can't tell me that both of them don't want to print the dollars big time. And that is a deregulation style thing for the US. So, effectively, we're going to see potentially regional banks become the big storyline again. And I would say Republicans probably likely to deregulate the banks harder based on what I've seen in policy. But anyway, whatever. We'll see what happens. Both of them are MMTing, though. So that means they're basically going to continue to print the treasuries. And they're going to say, yeah, we're going to get those sweet dollars and we're going to push our might. But ultimately, you've got to check out Ray Dalio's video. If you haven't watched it, you have to watch it. It's just a really good watch of great economies and how they tend to fail. And unfortunately for us, and it's a long thing, you got to remember it's 15, 20 years, maybe 25 years, maybe 30 years, maybe it never happens, but I think it will. You've got to remember that At the moment, the US is the best place. It's the best. Why? Strong dollar. Strong dollar is good dollar. But BRICS is gunning for that, and gold obviously is buying into that kind of thing. And whatever crash we come in the future, you've got to remember that is going to be kind of nasty because it's going to force a lot of printing, and that's going to weaken ultimately the dollar. Meta to 1,000. It's possible. Granite. It ain't the 90s no more. Hey, I'm just going on what I've watched on the TV shows, man. Everybody loves the granite on them. I am bullish until major bank goes belly up and causes some kind of crisis. Interesting. Sorry, can you link that video, Tom? Sure, man. Probably other people can't. I can. 1 second. I will get it for you. I'll get you the long version. It's called Ray Dalio, The Changing World Order. Now, will it give you any trade or investment concepts? No. But that's not the point. The point is what it will do, show you to be realistic and to always ask a simple question. I'm going to paste this here so you guys can see it. And the simple question, I've done a lot of thinking about this. If the market went on sale tomorrow, okay, every market crashes, guys. They all crash 25%. Which one are you going to buy? 25%. 25% off gold, 25% off Bitcoin, 25% on the SPY, 25% off German DAX, 25% off copper, 25% off everything. What are you going to buy? It doesn't actually say the CR. He's wrong on that, by the way. Demographic is a huge problem there. I'm not going to agree with buying China. Demographic is screwed. He might say that, but that doesn't. Again, I wouldn't go with what that is. I think there's a different understanding. I think the concept is valid. So everyone is pretty much going to say that they will probably buy the US 500. Most people. A few of you guys are going gold, but generally most people are doing SPY. And that's a valid thought process. What that's telling you is you should buy the best market in the damn world. Innovation, the best companies. I don't care what anyone has to say. The US has the best companies still. If that changes, you got to question everything. But for now, it's USA all day. And I'm Australian. But I realize that. And also, all Australians know we don't even have technology companies. We have like 10. Ryan Owen, $5. Thank you very much, Ryan. If you have time to look at Adobe as an AI play that is down big on weak guidance despite the beat on earnings, gap fill, flag breakout. All right. Well, I'll give you my opinion on Adobe. And that is that I think it's getting slaughtered by Canva and other companies, frankly. Okay. I think Canva is absolutely eating their breakfast. And you might say, but wait a second, Tom, Canva is not a professional. It's not. But I think if you weaned all the professionals out, there are so many software companies that are providing better user-based concepts for creation of effectively what Adobe Software Suite does. They're going to have to be very, very heavily protected. I don't know if they're going to win or not. I'd be interested to know what people think on the chat. But regardless of that, price action is key. So that doesn't, our opinions mean nothing. The reality is we need to look at the movements here. And I would say, look, yes, it's at a 61.8 fib. You can see I've got it here highlighted. No, there's no kind of, change of trend to the upside or anything like that. You're saying is it a flag breakout? I'm not seeing any flag breakout there. I'm just going to load a chart up for a second, make sure it's moving over. Yeah, it is. So let me go back to Adobe. I just don't see any flag breakout or anything. It's not, I think I've updated here on the charts. It's just kind of at a level. Yeah. Maybe a super, I don't know. This is a 61.8 fib, Brian. Adobe is used begrudgingly. The cash grabs have become excessive. That's usually a sign of a business that's kind of dying a little bit. Even Adobe hates Adobe. Yeah. Tom, I just jumped in. I want to say thank you for your great content you provide during all these years. One of the best there is. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. And thank you for coming in. Should I sell everything and wait for a black swan and blast it with my money? I should sell everything. How long will you wait, Finch, for your black swan? Looks like today we'll put in a major top. It's possible, Dave G. It's unlikely. The key is really probably going to be how you react to the 20,420 level that we've got here on the NAS, which obviously the NAS is going for. Joking? Yeah, no worries. I bought mine 15 years ago under 1K. What's that? Is this worth buying? Connell considering today's gap up pre-market? Well, probably not. Long Coin Daily. Con. I think the name is in its name. It's a con, but you're going to go long. I don't even know why this exists. It looks like trash. What kind of synthetic are they using on this? Is this like the worst managed ETF of all time? What the hell have they done? I'm floored by how bad this looks on a chart, considering coin. There must be. I would like to see their fact sheet. Maybe one day we'll look around. It's not the same thing as coin. It's not. It's not. There's something very deranged here. Let me have a look here. ConAl fact sheet. Let me see what's in there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just some rebalancing at the end of the day that smashed it. Going to get me the fact sheet here. The page has been stopped from loading. Privacy. Portfolio. What's in the portfolio? Coinbase Global Inc. 100%. All right, but how am I getting this sweet leverage? Okay. 1.15% per annum fee. Total annual operating expense ratio, 2.46. 2x leverage. Well, that's a pretty cheap ratio of leverage. But where is the leverage cost? I will need to look into this. I would have to look into it. I don't understand why the chart's so bad, though. Corey says here $5. What about Net? It's building a platform that protects content creators from AI scrubbing without getting paid for the content. Ooh, really? Okay. Well, you know I love Cloudflare. I've had it for a while. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, this is what I think of it. So obviously I think it's relatively bullish. I didn't know they're doing that. I mean, I've always thought they had pretty cool products. Okay. Wow. 99.35% dividend yield. Oh. Hey, Tom, I keep trading with you. Will I be able to forward the La Mazzocco? I would like to think so, sir. Jeff? Well, you've been doing all right, haven't you, Jeff? You might have a tenth of the La Mazzocco. You just put away some of those coins. I want you to take 10% of every one of your trades, and then you put it across to the La Mazzocco fund, not sponsored by La Mazzocco, and then you'll own one, and you'll be like David Beckham. Which I was watching that documentary on David Beckham. That coach is crazy. That coach is an asshole. He was the worst. Oh, I did not like that guy. Sir Alex or something. I'm sorry if you're a Brit. He was a nutter. I don't know how he got us. Oh, he was always a nasty man. Did you see how he held the grudge? Making a mark says I use quite a bit of Cloudflare. Great products, just cannot find a good entry to buy. Yeah, the ascending here is pretty nice. Actually, last week was pretty strong for the momentum based play, but that's a big strong trade. Look, I like it. It's quite good. Short squeeze again, Nas futures since open last night and Friday bell. Wall Street got to love them. Yep, that's true. You like 2 hour time frame? I like weekly the most. If you had to ask me which one, Jeff says yes, he's doing all right. 10%, Jeff. You'll have it in like a few months, eh? I have a Diletta Bello made in Italy, but not quite good as La Mazzocco. To be honest, it's all in the grinder. Just buy a good one. Yeah, well, there's the comment probably. It's such an asshole. He really pissed me off. And you could see Beckham was so sad about it because the guy's just been a real prick. Oh, man. It was nasty. All right. Very good, guys. You have a fantastic Monday. Thank you for joining us on Columbus Day for anyone that was that's in the US. I hope you have a fantastic start to the week. Shout out to anyone that's affected by the nasty, horrible, evil storms that came out the last 3 weeks. I feel like it's been going on forever. I hope you are all safe and okay, and your family members are as well. And we shared one of those crazy images from before. So yeah, it's scary living in those places. We've had our own share of serious natural disasters here in Australia over the last couple of years. Giant forest burning downs, floods everywhere, but not quite the same as having basically semi trucks thrown at your house. So I hope everyone's safe, guys. It could be Bitcoin's day in the sun. We'll find out. Let's see what the close looks like. We'll come to you at the close at the end of today and have the video out, and we'll be watching oil. We'll be watching Bitcoin. And of course, we'll see whether the Nasdaq is able to squeeze its way to 20,400. At the moment, positive gamma is supreme, and we will find, hopefully, some other opportunities throughout. It's a bit of a futures day. Oh, Thanksgiving for Canadian friends? Is that true? 1 second there. Thanksgiving in Canada. Oh. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Have a fantastic day. I didn't know that. There you go. You learn something new each day. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in Canada. I thought that was not real. I had to look it up. But anyway, very good. I've learned something new. I have 2 houses in Florida, and both took damage. One during Helene and the other one during Milton. Matt, it's not good to hear. I hope that you have insurance. I'm assuming probably most people don't. But yeah, hopefully you do. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Netflix this week. I don't really like the trade, so therefore I didn't bother looking at it. But this is why it's at the all-time high levels plus, and it is overbought. And I'm not really sure where it has to go at this stage. It's just rallying up. I don't really find a trade here. Sky Green said, haha, I thought you were saying llama sucko. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Tom, do you like harness or AFL? Well, I'd go with AFL. Mark? Thoughts on Roku now after its run up pullback? I don't think so yet necessarily. Okay, Matt. Well, at least you got some. All right. Thank you very much. I'll catch you later. Bye for now, guys. Appreciate the donations as well. Thank you.